You know what? It's been decided. We are going to be listening to some retro music in this next run, which is going to be DuckTales, and it's going to be awesome. Dijon Ketchup, why don't you introduce us to yourself and your commentator?
Dijon Ketchup, and I'm running DuckTales Remastered. It's a fun little game. 2013 remake of a 1989 NES game based on the 1987 animated series, based on comic books by Carl Barks and others, based on Uncle Scrooge and Donald Duck, created by Walt Disney. That's about as recursive as I can go right now, I think. But if my commentator would like to do their introduction.
Yeah, certainly. My name is Qubit, or Qubit Beat. I'm not a speedrun for this, but I have played it casually, and I can confirm it is a fun little game. Even if you're playing this casually, you could beat it in about a couple of hours or so. And both the OG TV show and the 2017 remake TV show are both fantastic, and you should totally watch them. And also play this game.
Yeah. So, going into it, we've got 8-bit music. Make sure we turn on quick cinemas. And time is going to start when I select the easy difficulty. So, 3, 2, 1, go! And we're off and running. So, this is Scrooge's Money Bin. It's the tutorial stage. It did not exist in the original NES version. Which means, how are we listening to an 8-bit track that didn't exist? Well, for the 8-bit mode, they made tracks to go with the levels that were created for this remake. Which is pretty cool. So we're just kind of making our way through some tutorial stuff. You'll notice that there were some buttons and empty cages. That's for tutorial things that are being skipped because we have the quick cinemas option turned on. That skips a lot of stuff for us. It's faster that way. And I just picked up an invincibility token, which makes Scrooge go a bit faster. They exist only on the easy difficulty, which is one of the pluses about running on easy. And we are reaching our first boss, who is Big Time Beagle, who is one of the Beagle Boys.
Your safe is securely suspended, son.
So, this is basically introducing you to how to fight bosses in the game. It's a pretty simple boss. You just gotta dodge the items that Big Time is throwing at you. And then hit them with your cane to knock his helmet off, and you can jump on him. Easy as that.
If you might have noticed too, with Scrooge, he doesn't just jump on them. You have to like pull out your little like pogo stick in order to jump on bad guys. So the movement's a little bit different from regular like hop on baddies platformer.
Yeah. And in the original game, you had to hold down and B while you were in the air in order to pogo jump, and they simplified it to just one button. But if there is an option that you can turn on that will turn on the old button combination of down and attack button, depending on what you have it set as or what console you're playing. Boy, I sure am taking a lot of damage. Good thing on easy, you only take half a heart of damage, as opposed to a full heart. I'm not setting up for anything at all here.
Nope. And normally you could play these levels in any order, but we do the Himalayas first because there is a specific reason for that.
Yep, and we'll get to that reason pretty shortly. Please grab the token, Scrooge. And you may have noticed one of the rabbits dropped something. There are 3 parts of Launchpad's plane that went missing because he crashed it, as he is known to do. And they were stolen by bunnies. Oh no, how unfortunate. Oh well, we'll just be closer to where we need to go. Yeah. So this is Bubba the Cave Duck. He is from seasons 2 and 3 of the series. And he's helping us get through these blocks that we normally can't break. Now, Scrooge can break them by pogo jumping on them, but if they are in a spot where we can't pogo jump on them, then we kind of need his help.
Up I go.
And that should be our last airplane piece. So we're gonna make our way back to Launchpad and that was an accident.
Onward and upward.
Oh no. I'm also appreciating seeing all the woos in the chat. Can we get some more woos? Chat. Woo!
Now, also in the Himalayas, you have to be careful about pogo jumping, because if you pogo jump onto the snow, that happens. So we're almost back at the plane. And that's gonna take us to the next section of the level, and why we play this stage first. Welcome to RNG.
Come on, boy.
Okay, that's a Beagle Boy. We're already starting off.
Shouldn't be any trouble to take down. Ouch.
Okay, now we're getting some good RNG. So, Flint Heart can shoot Beagle Boys and bombs at us. We want bombs because we send those back. Okay, I'm getting some real good RNG. The optimal pattern is bomb, Beagle Boy,
He's catching up.
and then, of course, I cursed it by saying we were getting good RNG. And got... That was still really good RNG. So that's a big reset point right there, because you can get a lot of Beagle Boys in a row. And we're almost to the boss. And say hello to the Yeti. Not the one that sells t-shirts. That's a different Yeti. It's also not the one that makes insulated cups and stuff. Okay.
This Yeti only offers you lots of smashing.
So I hit that too early. I was expecting her to jump a lot sooner than she did. This one we can hit right away because it goes over there. You have to kind of judge which one of the blocks it's going to hit. So, you can kind of get a sense of which one's going to hit the far side, which one's going to hit in the middle. So, one disadvantage to running on easy instead of Extreme, which is the other difficulty that most folks run on, is that bosses are a lot slower on easy. They speed up on extreme difficulty, making them faster. And faster is generally better.
You're gonna get rich by being foolish.
Anyway, should be the end of this boss right here. Alright, and that's the Yeti down, and the Himalayas are taken care of. So that's one stage down. And our next stage is going to be the African mines. And just like Himalayas, there's a reason that we do it so early, which we'll get to in a couple minutes. But for now, watch this slug on the loading screen. Oh, and it's gone.
No, bye.
There's more slugs. I like the slugs. They're cute.
And this level is where we see one of two glitches that are done in this speedrun.
Yeah. And that glitch is the reason why we do this level second. Which we are about to come up on it. We've just got this boulder to outrun first. And while I'm doing this glitch, if you'd like to explain what I'm doing.
Yes, certainly. So where the glitch comes in, the way objects work in this game is that they are loaded in just before they appear on the screen. So in this instance, to do this glitch, you can maneuver really fast, like back and forth, so that a rock loads, deloads, and doesn't have time to load back in before it should be on the screen. So you can do this to several rocks to clear the way to the chain. And then when to access the chain, you can climb down, then back up to respawn the rocks, which you use to clip out of the bounds and skip part of the stage.
This one's not wanting to cooperate so much. Sometimes they just don't want to cooperate, which, you know, how dare an unintended behavior not happen? Boy, I'm really having trouble with this one right now.
Is now a good time to tell you about a new incentive that just dropped?
Yes.
It's gonna rock.
Just like these rocks.
Yes, exactly.
Just like these rock
just
glitches.
like these rocks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you see, you get it. You're picking up what I'm putting down.
I get you.
Yeah. You know what? I love a good sale, and times are tough. So what we decided to do is we're going to do a 2-for-1 special. 1 donation, 2 incentives that you could be meeting. So we do have the Final Fantasy VII boss incentive that's going to be coming up later tonight, and this new one, it's a whole game. It is a whole freaking game that we could get. If we raise $2,196, this seems really very specific, but I'm going somewhere with this. We will get to watch Rifta the Necrodancer. Who doesn't love Rifta the Necrodancer?
It's pretty cool.
And the reason for that, right? And the reason for that very, very specific number is because If we get that, we will have raised $10,000 total over the lifetime of Prevent-A-Thon in support of little warriors.
Heck yeah.
Right? Right? How cool is that?
Super cool.
Just, right? Yeah, so get those
Neato.
donations in.
So, as you may have noticed, once I got those rocks out of the way, I was able to go down, climb the chain back up, and then get out of bounds, which let me skip a decent chunk of the stage. And we just passed our first minecart section. If you like minecarts, good news. There are a few of them in this game. Now we're just...
I did ironically like the minecart sections. Those were fun.
You know what game had fun minecart levels? It was Donkey Kong Country.
Heck yeah. Especially DKC 2.
Yeah, with the roller coasters.
And the fair. Yes.
Okay, good, I made that jump. That jump is tight to get over that prawn plant. But here we are at the boss. This is the king of the Terraformians. Terraformians appear in both the original series and the reboot. In the original series, they live underneath Scrooge's money bin, and in an episode titled Earthquake, they are basically causing earthquakes. And those earthquakes are directly under Scrooge's money bin, which is causing his fortune to fall through the cracks.
And in the 2017 version, they're in, if I remember correctly, an old train tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like cryptids in the 2017 version.
Yeah.
And that's the king of the Terraformians down. Sorry, messing with my headphones because my aux cable is apparently dying on me, and the left side keeps going out.
Ah, so the truly retro experience.
Yep, it's getting very,
Yes.
very mono. Okay, the rest of
We're buying the entire package.
rest of the levels, it doesn't really matter what order you play them in. Oh no, I got the bonus stage. So if you end up with a 7 in your money counter, you get this bonus stage when you start the next stage, which is not fast. So we just kind of get out of it as quickly as we can.
Oh, that's why it appears. I wondered why that was appearing sometimes when I play this game.
Yeah, I used to think it was random, and then
Yeah.
one of the devs was actually in chat for a run I did of it, and explained that that's why it comes up. And I was like, oh! And apparently it does that in the original NES version, too.
Oh, huh. There was rhyme to the reason. Okay.
And I was going to do a death warp there, but I didn't take enough damage. Oops. I'm playing too good.
Not me trying to pogo throughout the entire vines.
There's actually an achievement for the underground section.
Hey, watch it.
If you... Oh, well, there's the death now. Luckily, I respawned right there. Because there's a lot of checkpoints on easy difficulty. Which is actually a thing that comes into play in a later level. But, oh. So, in this stage, we're collecting these medallions. I've collected most of them already. They're just that fast to collect. And we need them to access the second half of the stage. And now, this is what I call the built-in water break. Yeah, so if you climb to the top of the rope that Launchpad's carrying, nothing can hit you. Don't mind me messing with my aux cable.
Yep, I learned this little trick too when during my playthroughs. I just climb all the way to the top.
By go.
Yeah, I usually use that, again, as a water break. Stay hydrated. So in the NES version, up here, there was a warp to the boss. They did not put that in the remake. But there is an invincibility token, so we get to go a bit fast here. And these falling blocks can be a challenge because of that treasure chest right there in the way. And we're just gonna make our way up here. And I got a little boost off of that snake. Now this corridor
Won my back and down.
isn't too bad, but on extreme difficulty, it's kind of a nightmare. Because you take a full heart of damage whenever you get hit. And there's all those enemies right there. Anyway,
Yeah, I played this on hard. It was a little bit tough then too.
yeah, so extreme difficulty tries to put things a bit more in line with the original NES. And so you get 2 lives, no continues, and no save file. So you have to play through the whole thing in one sitting. You can't get a game over. Yeah, when it slams into the ground like that, you can take damage if you're standing on the ground.
Ow, ow, ow.
So this is one of the longer bosses, one that benefits greatly on Extreme from the speed up that it gets. And yeah, when it hits the ground, it can eat your pogo jump. Oh, another thing is, as you can see there, bosses on easy can drop ice cream to give you health. Doesn't do that on other difficulties. Be very convenient if it did on extreme, but it does not. Extreme is a very difficult run. I have not completed an actual speed run on Extreme before. It's definitely not marathon safe, I'll tell you that. Especially since you use some death warps. moving on, we've got Transylvania as our next stage. The dancing skeleton. Look at it go. And Transylvania got used a lot in the NES game. You go there 3 times.
I can smell it.
As opposed to the remake where you only go here once. One of the times is playing through the stage normally. One of the times when you go to the African mines, the key to the mines is in Transylvania, so you have to go back to Transylvania to find it. And then the final boss is in Transylvania. And in this game, the African mines, the key is in that same level. And the final boss has its own brand new level, but we'll get to that in a bit. Here's a scary ghost, and definitely not a beagle boy with a sheet covering him.
Wait, it's not?
Yeah, we have to rescue Huey, Dewey, and Louie from the Beagle Boys in this stage.
Yeah, I remember getting lost quite a bit in this level too. I would like go through the same mirror, I think like 3 times, be like, wait,
Yeah.
I think I was here already.
Yeah, this level can be a bit of a maze.
Yeah.
So that's 2 Beagle Boys down and 2 nephews rescued. And we got more invincibility boosts. Oh, lag spike. That happens sometimes. And, we've got minecarts, so during this section,
This madness.
does the host have anything to read?
I do. I actually have an announcement about what's coming up after this run. We're going to be doing something super cool. Yeah, super cool. There's going to be a charity interview, and it's being done live. It's not pre-recorded at all. It'll be done live. And what's even more than that, you get to ask questions. If you're watching and you have a question about Little Warriors and this charity that we are supporting, you can ask this question. It'll be a channel redeem, and after this game is done, you can start submitting those questions, and Cell will be asking Jill from Little Warriors. So 1 question per person limit, so start thinking about it now, and then you can ask them later.
Awesome. So, back there, we did the 3rd Beagle Boy and got the 3rd nephew. At that point in the extreme run, you would do a death warp to go back into the castle. However, on easy, because there's so many checkpoints, it would not save any time to do that death warp. Here's Mrs. Beakley. We're gonna go past her. She gives you free healing items,
I knew it.
which we don't really need right now, but thanks, Mrs. Beakley.
1,000,000,002.
Just got a damage boost through this guy.
Ow, ow, ow.
And then a secret passage.
passage?
Yeah, Scrooge is saying they think everybody's talking about the secret passage. Trying to spawn these ghosts as high up as possible so I can get around them. Okay, well that wasn't the best, but I got through. And this is our next boss, Magica Dispel, who is one of Scrooge's nemeses in the series. She's voiced in this game and in the original series by June Foray, who you may know as the voice of Rocky and Natasha from Rocky and Bullwinkle. And she was also Granny from the Looney Tunes at one point. She was on the Gummy Bears. And she was in her 90s when she recorded her voice lines for this game. And on that note, so was Alan Young, who was the voice of Scrooge. But Magica has a long cycle, but it's not really that long of a boss. Just go through the pattern 3 times. And she'll be taken care of. You have to be careful with the mirrors because you can hit some to get a boost up to get to where the mirror with Magica is, but if you hit too many, you take damage. And that's Magica Dispel down, and Transylvania completed. Hooray. Or I guess I should say, woohoo.
Woo!
And now for our last normal stage, the moon.
Moon! One of the best theme songs!
It's a very good song. I like the
I know.
Himalayas
I
better,
know.
but it's,
I'm a big fan of the moon theme.
and we get the original version of it.
Yes, and this song, if you've watched the 2017 reboot, this theme does come back in that as well.
Yeah, I have not gotten
So you
to
get to
that
hear
part
that.
in the series yet, but I am excited for it when it happens.
Yes, you will recognize it immediately, and you will squeal. At least I did. I was like, oh, I know that! I know that song!
Did I get it? Yeah, got it first try. That was a lot easier. You may notice that I just walked straight through a block. Much like the African mine skip, if you jump, if you go back and forth fast enough, you'll despawn the trigger. Doesn't despawn the it despawns the collision, but not the keep wanting to say picture, and that just seems simplistic of it. But the same dev who told me how the bonus stage works mentioned that he was the one who did not program the collision to go out far enough. So funny enough, there's also a skip for that block in the NES version, where you take where you have an enemy damage you while you're like ducking up against it, and you can clip through. So there's a moon skip in both versions. Anyway, this is the giant moon rat. As you can see, it is a giant rat. It is currently guarding the moon cheese that we need. And it also has the zoomies. So we just have to avoid it while it's got the zoomies. Now, you would jump over there, wouldn't you? Alright, and that's our last regular stage. So, we've got one more stage, and it is a stage that was created especially for DuckTales Remastered. As I mentioned before, the original NES game, you go back to Transylvania to fight the final boss. Well, they decided to make a whole new level for the final boss. So, welcome to Mount Vesuvius. We have been lured here by Flintheart Glumgold, who has kidnapped Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Which you'll see Flintheart a few times throughout the stage. Like, there he is. Get that bat to fall out of the way there.
Hurry up, Glumgold. Time is money.
It could be dangerous, McDuck. You go first. Hurry up, I'm growing old. Just not as old as you.
Gonna get another invincibility token here. Missed a jump. There's Flintheart again.
Watch where you're putting that thing, Scroogey.
Avoid this boulder. And this one we gotta jump over, or jump on. Oh, go jump on.
Up I go.
And then, let's get a bit risky with this one. Yeah. You're supposed to hide under the little awning to get away from that one.
Where'd you go, you old
Okay.
stuffer?
I'm helping like
The
you
cycles on this to get up, you have to, like, basically pogo jump off the boulder for these cycles. And the cycle was a little, there's a little tricky to catch.
Really lost my hat on that one.
Yeah, I remember that area being a little bit of a pain to get through. Having to get the timing just right
get a move
for those
on, McDuck.
rolling balls.
Age before beauty, Flinty.
We've got an encore of the mine carts here.
This is actually
Ducking
starting
under
to
everything.
fun.
I've had my jump eaten on that minecart
Onward and upward.
falling so many times, I can't even tell you. And I walked right into that ghost because I got a jump input eaten. Jump eat. Input eating is not just for classic games.
Busy duck.
Washed up has-beens first, Mc...
And here's our final boss, Dracula Duck. His name is not Count Duckula. Count Duckula is a property owned by Filmation and not Disney. You're not supposed to get up on top of his beak like this, so if you do this, it gets confused after a while and just disappears.
Yeah, I think what you normally do is you hide under, at least the way I did it was like you hide under his mouth.
Yeah, you have to like duck under.
Yeah.
I'm being a little too risky, and I'm down to half a heart. Okay, I disagree, game.
No.
At least that was still... Okay, that was not gonna win. Okay. This time for sure. But anyway, at least I wasn't too far into the boss when I died there. It would have been a lot worse if I was like towards the end of it. Okay, the red one is what I call the Space Invader bats. It is annoying because it is by far the longest.
I hated this part so much.
Oh, come on. So, you want to get the red potion as few times as possible.
Crush him now. Rest is worse than his bite.
Green potion, you just have to kite these flames a little bit.
I didn't get rich by being foolish.
I command you.
Okay, we got the orange one, that's good.
Interfering old bat. Try as you might.
Ah, the bats. All my homies hate the bats.
This was a worst cycle for me as well.
Yeah, it's like the other two, like, are real short, particularly if you get on top the beak when it grows giant. This one is just long and...
No plan must not fail.
Okay. Alright, and that's the boss. And now, did you know that this is a Metroid game?
Up I go.
Because we have to escape
Yes,
a
we know.
volcano now.
Yep, DuckTales is now a retro game for the next several minutes.
Alright. So we've got Scrooge's lucky #1 dime, but we're not quite done. We have to get out of here. Okay, I tried that jump. That jump is really hard to make. We'll just go normally. It really
You know, what a
doesn't...
surprise it was for me when I thought I was finally done the boss, and then the game throws this at me, and I was like, excuse me? What?
Alright, time is coming up. Now.
GG's.
Thanks.
Thank you for that. That was
Lorem ipsum right there.
It was real swelly to get
Dijon
one
Ketchup,
gold
thank you for entertaining us with this fine run. This was an amazing time. Do you have any shout outs to make before we go?
You can pay
Just
me back in old,
shout-outs
say,
to
3 5 years.
Prevent-A-Thon and Little Warriors.
With interest, of course.
Awesome. And how can we find you?
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/DijonKetchup.
Yeah, there's a sight I never
And
heard.
Blue Sky, I'm on DijonKetchup.bsky.social.
Thank you so much. We are going to cut to an ad break, so it will be time for us to duck out. But when we return, we are going to get into that charity interview that I mentioned earlier. So if you have questions that you would like to ask Jill from Little Warriors, get those ready. It will be a channel redeem to ask those questions.
Alright, thank you. Alright, thank you.